Hey, and welcome back to another focus activity, another helping of English courtesy of my English school and me, Kirsty. I'm back again for another lesson. Okay, so recipes, recipes. We're talking about food tonight. So we're going to look at the difference between countable and uncountable nouns, food, imperatives. So I want to know what kind of food you like, to be honest. No. So I wonder, what is your favourite food? What is your favourite recipe? What is your favourite kind of restaurant? What are always the first three things on your shopping list? Are there any foods you hate? So tell me in the comment section what kind of food you like. So my favorite food. Let's start off with me. My favorite food is that's a tricky one. I like I like a lasagna, like a really good lasagna, or like a really nice plate of pasta. But I also like Vietnamese food. So if you gave me something that was like, it had lots of vegetables. It was like fish, like a piece of fish that had some herbs and like peanuts and rice, some sort of something really kind of fresh. I would love to eat that. And also another thing that I really really like is Moroccan food. I love Moroccan tagines. Anything that's kind of like a Moroccan tagine, to be honest. I'm really feeling the sort of Moroccan flavors at the moment. My favorite recipe, I don't know. Probably my mum's lentil soup. My mum makes soup in Scotland, and she has a recipe for lentil soup, which is a Scottish soup, one of many Scottish soups. But lentil soup made by my mum is amazing. What is my favourite kind of restaurant? Okay. My favourite kind of restaurant, I would say, is it's like a sort of Middle Eastern restaurant. I quite like food from there, or I also like kind of Mediterranean style food. So, for example, if you went to a place in Greece or something, and it was like it was kind of a fusion of kind of Greek food and like Italian food, but there was maybe some Spanish food, kind of like a mixture of all those flavors. I think it's difficult to find because you could just go to a Spanish restaurant in Spain, but like I think when you have a kitchen or like a restaurant that does a mixture of kind of Greek, Italian, and Spanish food, and that's usually the easiest food to eat. I think it's the most. There's something for everybody in a restaurant like that, a fusion restaurant. But I also like kind of Middle Eastern restaurants. What the other one is in Edinburgh, for example. You can go to lots of Indian restaurants, some amazing Indian restaurants in Scotland. It's very popular in the UK. Generally speaking, we love eating curry, but it depends how spicy we're talking. But yeah, I love, I like a good curry. What are the first three things on your shopping list? Eggs. What else? Eggs, oranges, and what would be the third thing? Pasta. Pasta or rice. Are there any foods you hate? I hate. I hate kind of really fatty food. Anything like I don't buy things like burgers or chips or anything like that. I might buy. I tend to avoid buying onions if I can help it. Sometimes an occasional onion is okay, but I don't buy a lot of onions. I can't eat shellfish, so things like lobster, crab, I'm allergic to, so I don't eat it. I'm trying to think what else. I tend not to buy things like milk, anything that's. I try not to buy too many dairy products. Like I'll eat a bit of cheese now and again, but I don't try not to buy things that are too fatty or smell bad. Okay, so wonder who's there, who's watching. My screen's just minimized there. 1 second. All right, we're back again. Thank goodness. Excellent. So, number one, put the types of food into the right categories. Are they countable or uncountable? So we've got a list of ingredients, and you need to tell me where the words go, under which categories. We've got vegetables, meat, drink, and other. Okay. So I'm going to give you some time. I'm going to give you 4 minutes to put all these words in the right places. Okay, I am here if you need some help. So 4 minutes to put the words under the right categories. Okay. So Okay, so I wonder, where do the words go? Vegetables. So I think, well, eggs aren't vegetables. Tomatoes, I'm not sure. I thought they were a fruit, you know. Carrots, yeah, vegetables. Cheese, other. Beef, it would be meat. Okay, it's meat from the cow is beef. Sugar in other. Potatoes, vegetables. Coffee, drink. Chicken is meat. Milk is a drink. Chocolate is other. Salt, other. Beans, vegetables. Butter is other, and flour is other. So let's have a look and see if I was right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go. Yeah, awesome. Okay. Cool. I wonder, how many of these did you get right? Let me know in the comments section. Now, are they countable or uncountable? So which of these are countable and which are uncountable? What is countable and what is uncountable? What does that mean? It's an interesting question. Okay, so just in case you didn't know, countable means an object you can count and make plural. Okay. If, on the other hand, we're talking about uncountable, then that is different. It's an object that you cannot count. You cannot count. So, example, sugar. Okay, can you count all the individual bits of sugar, all the individual pieces of sugar? No, you can't. It's something that you cannot quantify. It's uncountable is like unquantifiable. Uncountable equals unquantifiable. Okay. So yeah. Any questions? Let me know in the comment section if that is unclear. Okay. So I think tomatoes are countable. Tomatoes are countable because you can say 1 tomato, 2 tomatoes, 3 tomatoes, 4 tomatoes. Okay. You can count them. You can make them plural. So things like fruit, vegetables, eggs are countable normally. Okay. Things like meat and liquids are uncountable. Okay. Things like meat, liquids, and anything that is like very, very small. So like rice, pasta, sugar, salt. It's like dairy. Okay. Flour is uncountable unless you put it into a container. What's a container? So if I say that sugar is uncountable, right? Then if I say a bag of sugar, what does that mean? A bag of sugar, what is that? Well, what if I write 2 bags of sugar? 2 bags of sugar equals what? A bag of sugar. But if I have 2 of them, then it's 2 bags. 1, 2. So a container is like saying putting sugar in a bag. When you put something uncountable into something that you can count, it becomes countable. So a bag of sugar is countable. C for countable, U for uncountable, okay? And 2 bags of sugar are most definitely countable because you've just counted 2 of them, 2 bags, okay? A bottle of Coca-Cola, is that countable or uncountable? It's countable, okay? But if I just put Coca-Cola on its own, I've written Coca-Cola wrong, so Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, not Coca-Cola. It's like a coconut. Coca-Cola on its own is uncountable. Okay, a bottle of Coca-Cola, not Coca-Cola. It's a coconut. Coconut. While we're on the subject, coconut is countable. So 1 coconut, 2 coconuts, 3 coconuts, okay? 10 coconuts, 1,000 coconuts, they're all countable, okay? Okay. A cup of coffee, coffee. What is it? Countable or uncountable? Coffee on its own. What do you think? What do you think? Well, I think a cup is, which is equal to 1 cup, okay, is countable. So a cup of coffee equals 1 cup of coffee, which equals countable. But if you're just talking about coffee in general, like the substance that is, then it's uncountable. Because coffee, it's not something you can count. It's not something you can quantify. Unless you say coffee beans, 1, 2, 3, okay, coffee beans. But equally, you could, without going into too much detail, coffee, if you're talking about the substance, is uncountable. But if you've got a cup or a jar or something like that of the substance, it is countable. Okay, it's the container that is countable. Okay, good. Let's move on. Okay, so where are we going? Next page. What's in your fridge? Okay, I'm nosy and I want to know what's in your fridge. Example, is there any milk in your fridge? Yes, there's some milk in my fridge. Are there any apples in your fridge? No, there aren't any apples in my fridge. Okay, so let's look at the first one. Is there any milk? Why do we say is there? Is there any milk in your fridge? Well, I suppose the thing we should really understand first of all is if I say there is, if I say there is or there are. Okay, so let's start with there is. There is plus singular object, or uncountable noun. Okay, if I've got there are, you say plural object, and countable noun. I'm writing this in the comment section for you guys so that you can see. Okay, so there is plus a singular object or an uncountable noun. There are plus a plural object or a countable noun. So what does that mean? Well, if I say, let's bring up this one first. There is plus a singular object or an uncountable noun. So let's make it really easy. If I say there is a banana in my fridge. Okay, there is a banana in my fridge. There's one banana. Okay, there is. So there is singular object. Okay, it's not an uncountable noun, a banana, because you say one banana, two bananas, three bananas. So I could say there are bananas in my fridge. Okay, there are bananas in my fridge. Change it. There are bananas in my fridge. So the sense is that there are more than one bananas. I could say there are 5 bananas in my fridge. There are 5 bananas, or you could say there are some bananas. There are some bananas. I say there are some bananas because I don't know how many. Let's say I've forgotten how many bananas there are. Okay, so there are some bananas, just generic. Okay, I don't know how many. In English, we can say there are bananas or there are some bananas. Okay. Let's use an uncountable object. So there, going back to there is. So I said there is a banana in my fridge. There is a banana in my fridge. Now let's, instead of a single object, let's put an uncountable word there. So there's milk in my fridge. Gosh. I say there is milk in my fridge. I mean milk because it's uncountable. So this is where the uncountable thing works. Okay, so you either say there is a single object or there is plus an uncountable subject. Okay, an uncountable object, I beg your pardon. So you would say there is a banana or one banana, or there is milk in my fridge. You can equally say there is some milk in my fridge. There is, you can abbreviate. You can abbreviate there is, and you can say there's some milk in my fridge. Gosh, how exciting. There's some milk in my fridge. Okay. Now, if I was going to make things a bit more complicated for you all, I could say there are. So we've talked about bananas at length. So let's change the subject from bananas to eggs. There are 6 eggs in my fridge. There are 6 eggs in my fridge. Okay. So here we've got there are plus plural object. Okay, so object, plural, eggs. Egg is the object, plural is eggs. There are 6 of them. Okay, in my fridge. Now, an egg happens to be a countable object. Okay, so we can let's think of another countable object. There are 3 there are 3 oranges in my fridge. There are 3 oranges in my fridge. Maybe I just decided to put my oranges in there. There are 3 oranges in my fridge. Okay. So again, what I said before is that things like fruit and vegetables, they are plural. Okay. So that's the rule. Okay. You need to say there is for an uncountable object, or when you only have one of a countable object, or you say there are for plural and countable things. Okay. Now, when do we say some, any? Okay. So as I said before, there's some milk in my fridge. Okay. There's some milk in my fridge. There are some bananas. Okay. Nice and simple. Some just means you don't know how much. Okay, it's quite difficult for you to quantify. Let's be honest. How often do you remember how many bananas you have in your kitchen? You don't. You might remember you have bananas in your kitchen. How many? Question mark. Okay. So that's why we say some. Some just means is a way to say I don't know how many. Okay. Some equals I don't know how many. How many or how much. Okay. In a way. It means a bit of. Okay. Or a bit of something. Okay. Any you use when you have a question or a negative response. So, question in the example, is there any chicken in your fridge? Is there any chicken in your fridge? Is there any chicken in your fridge? Any meaning at all. Okay. And you can say yes. There's some chicken in my fridge. So yes, there's some chicken in my fridge. It's the million dollar question and answer right there. So is there any chicken in your fridge? Yes, there's some chicken in my fridge. You're very, very lucky. Okay. Now we've got to do that with plurals. So can we say are? So the example on the screen is, are there any apples in your fridge? No, there aren't any apples in my fridge. Okay, not at all. Not at all, meaning niente, meaning nothing, nada. Okay. All right. And if I say, if I want to respond like, no, there aren't any apples in my fridge, I respond using any, as I did in the question. Are there any apples in your fridge? No, there aren't any. But if I want to say that, in fact, there are apples in my fridge, I can say it like this. There are some apples in my fridge. I can't remember how many. All right, good, excellent, guys. So let's move on to the next slide. I wonder, people watching me, do you want to ask me what's in my fridge? Go on. Okay, now you've got to match the ingredients to the dish. So we have got chocolate, carrots, butter, rice, beef, tomatoes, eggs, chicken, sugar, potatoes, salt, beans, flour, and peas. So now you need to tell me, where do these words go? Is it roast chicken, chocolate cake, or chili? So I'm going to take a guess here and say that there is no chocolate in the roast chicken recipe. That's just my idea. Could be wrong. Okay. I'm going to give you 4 minutes to tell me, maybe 3 minutes. 4 minutes is quite a long time. 3 minutes to tell me which ingredients go to which dish.
Okay, guys. So I'm going to reveal the answers. Let's go. So chicken, for roast chicken, you need, let's have a look. Carrots, chicken, potatoes, peas, chocolate cake, chocolate butter, eggs, sugar, flour, chili, rice, beef, tomatoes, salt, and beans. Oh, I love a roast chicken, and also chili. I love a Mexican chili. Actually, all these. Sometimes chocolate cake's good too. Oh, yeah, all of them. I love this kind of stuff. Okay. Right, let's match the imperatives to the pictures. So we've got cook, boil, fry, cut, add, mix, roast, bake. And we've got lots of pictures. So I wonder where do the words and where do the words go? And you know, yeah, let's have a look. So A, I would say, is bake. B is roast, because you roast a chicken. C is add. You add salt. D looks like they're cutting. So cut. E, I would say, is mix, because you've got all the ingredients to make a cake in there. F would be fry, because there's a frying pan. And G is to cook, boil. So you usually boil vegetables. You can fry vegetables as well. It depends on what you want to do. Lots of Chinese dishes involve frying vegetables. Okay, excellent. I wonder if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments section. Okay, right. Okay. So let's summarize what we learned today. So there's a difference between countable and uncountable words in English. Countable words are objects you can count. Okay, that's objects you can quantify easily. So by that we mean fruit, vegetables. Okay, yeah, fruit, vegetables, objects that are maybe quite big, so it's easy to count. Uncountable objects, on the other hand, are things like liquids, sugar, salt, flour. Okay, when it's difficult to count because of the size, okay, or because it's a liquid, you know. And so we treat them differently. We say there is plus uncountable. There are plus countable objects, usually if they are plural. Okay. Okay. Well, we'll have to stop there, I'm afraid. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and hope you have a lovely weekend and enjoy the rest of your evening too. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.